Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Vishnupāda Rashita Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Vishnupāda Rashita Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Vishnupāda Rashita Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Vishnupāda Rashita Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Bhagavat Śrīla Gopishwaras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityānanda Prabhu Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Prabhu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Raghunath Bhabaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadash Raghunath Shāra Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Hairas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bhadati Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava ki jai. Shri Pāṇihāṭi Gram ki jai. Śrīla Raghunātha Gosami par ki jai. Śrīman Nityānanda Prabhu ki jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityānanda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosami par ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranam, everybody. So we were just having a Zoom session going over the last verse in our Rupa Shiksha program. Mali Hoya Koreshe Bij Anupan. And I started to read from this in the Zoom session, but then I realized it might be nice to read it here on Facebook so that other people would be able to join who aren't in our Zoom program. So yeah, let me just share my screen, and we're going to go over some kathā by Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Goswami Maharaj. So, Dandavat Pranams Madhavi Didi, Ganga Didi, Rohit Radha Krishnan Didi. Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava. So this is spoken by Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Goswami Maharaj on this day, on June 11th, 2014. Today is a special tithi. On this day, Śrīla Raghunath Gosami, on the orders of Nityānanda Prabhu, celebrated Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava in Pāṇihāṭi, meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipur. When Raghunath Gosami met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur, he thought, how shall I be able to get free from the hands of the watchmen? How shall I be able to go with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Nilachal? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, knew his mind and instructed him. Sthir hoya ghare jao na hao batul, krame krame pailaka bhava sindhu kul. That's from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya, chapter 16, verse 237. Be patient and return home. Do not be foolish. One can cross over the material ocean only gradually. Krame krame. Markata vairagana koro loka dekhaya. Jataya vishay bhunja anasakta hoya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 16:238. You make yourself a show-bottle devotee and become a false renunciate. For the time being, enjoy the material world in a befitting way and do not become attached to it. I don't know, I'd say Vishay Bhunja. You can accept the objects of the senses as needed. So it's not like You enjoy, anyways, whatever. Do not make a show of renunciation. In other, it is the nature of a monkey to exhibit renunciation externally and to enjoy inwardly. Therefore, Mahaprabhu is instructing Śrīla Raghunath Gosami to act just like an ordinary person externally, but without any attachment within. Antare nishta koro, bahye loka vyavahar, achirat krishna tomai kori bedhar. That's same chapter, chapter 16, verse 239. Internally develop staunch faith in Krishna, and externally carry out your worldly responsibilities in such a way that no one can detect your inner mood. If you act like this, Shri Krishna will very quickly deliver you from material existence. Thereafter, Śrīla Raghunath Gosami returned home and externally gave much attention to household activities as per the Lord's instructions. Eventually, his father and uncle became satisfied by his behavior, suspecting his mind had become steady. They assumed he was no longer inclined to run away from home. Then Nityānanda Prabhu arrives at Pāṇihāṭi. Following the instruction of Mahaprabhu to travel and preach, Nityānanda Prabhu came along with his associates from Puri to reside at Raghava Pandit's house in Pāṇihāṭi. The news reached Śrīla Raghunath Gosami as his residence was not far from this place. One was on the eastern side and the other was on the western side of the Ganges. Immediately, Śrīla Raghunath Gosami came for Nityānanda Prabhu's darshan. I love this picture. When Raghava Pandit introduced him to Nityānanda Prabhu, saying, "This Raghunath is offering pranams," Nityānanda Prabhu responded, "Oh Chora, thief! You always stay away at a distant place, but today I ask you, when a householder catches a thief, what does he do? Becoming very angry, he punishes that thief. So now you have to feed all associates with chipped rice and yogurt." Dadhi is the flat rice, and dadhi or dahi is yogurt. So that Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava, the rice and yogurt festival. Raghunath Das was very happy to hear Lord Nityananda's command. He sent his own men to purchase and collect all varieties. He came with huge sums of money to celebrate the festival. His father and uncle were not miserly when it came to serving in this way. There was no bar on spending as long as Śrīla Raghunath Das remained at home. One second, okay, it's still working. Yeah, so there's no bar on spending as long as Śrīla Das Gosami remained at home. The news spread all over that Govardhan Majumadar's son is celebrating Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava. So Śrīla Raghunath Gosami brought milk, yogurt, bananas, dates, oranges, sugarcane, and other eatables, as well as pots. He had one rule. He would pay whatever the quoted price was without trying to bargain. Nityānanda Prabhu saw that a great quantity of products had arrived. Yogurt and milk cannot go together. Both had to be well utilized. So in each of the earthen pots, first the milk was boiled and some of the milk was condensed. Then half of the soaked chipped rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar. So half of the soaked chipped rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas, and the other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana called champa cola. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added, as well as dates, other fruits, and sweets. This is called malsa bhog, and everyone was given 2 pots, one of each variety, one with chipped rice, condensed milk, and the other containing chipped rice with yogurt. The festival witnessed such a huge gathering of people that there was practically no place to stand on the banks of the river, so some stood inside the river and ate with the pots in their hands. Then Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, to laugh in great surprise and said to Nityānanda Prabhu, "Oh, I've prepared your offerings at home, but you're having an utsav here?" Nityānanda Prabhu replied, "We are cowherds, and we love to do pulin bhojan, picnic by the banks of a river. So you should sit here and honor some prasad as well. I will take the offering at your home in the evening, not now." Then the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invoked there in meditation by Nityānanda Prabhu. See, there's Mahaprabhu coming. He came from Puri, but the people in general couldn't see or notice him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took food little by little from both the pots, and then he wandered among the devotees and observed everything. In this way, a grand festival was organized. As any sacrifice is considered worthless without mantras being chanted and dakshina being offered, mantram hinam adakshinam, after feeding all the devotees, Śrīla Raghunātha Gosami asked Raghava Pandit for guidance to ascertain how much dakshina to give a person, because if he were to give everyone equally, then it would constitute a violation of etiquette. There is a kirtan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur which says, "Shakale saman korite shakati deho nata jata jata," meaning, "O Gurudev, give me the power to honor all the living entities according to their due." Thus, Raghava Pandit made the list showing how much was to be donated to each and every devotee. Accordingly, Śrīla Raghunath Gosami offered 2 tolas of gold and 100 gold coins in the hands of Nityānanda Prabhu's sevak. And dakshina, he gave all that money to Nityānanda Prabhu's sevak as dakshina to be distributed among all the assembled devotees as per the list. In the end, he prayed to Nityānanda Prabhu, "Prabhu, I don't like sangsar, and I want freedom from material bondage." Nityānanda Prabhu placed his divine feet upon the head of Śrīla Raghunath Gosami, being very pleased with his service mood and his attitude towards the Vaishnavas, saying, "Ghuchilo bandhan, you shall no longer be bound in this material world. Your connection with sangsara has been severed. You have no material entanglements. Now." But Śrīla Raghunath Gosami responded, "I am being guarded day and night. How can I escape?" Nityānanda Prabhu reassured him, "Very soon, without impediments, you will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Anupan? Okay, Anupan, the Anupan of Vaishnav Seva. Within a few days, an opportunity arose of its own accord for Śrīla Raghunath Gosami to be able to escape to Jagannath Puri. This is because Śrīla Raghunath Gosami had taken the appropriate Anupan of Vaishnav Seva to go. Anupan is a liquid that is advised either before, along with, or after the intake of an Ayurvedic medicine. Medicine works best only when it is complemented with the recommended Anupan. Ayurvedic practitioners, Kavirajas, insist on one's taking Anupan. Once, the Nawab of Dhaka was suffering with an extreme condition in which his whole body was burning like fire. He tried all allopathic medicines to no avail, so he came to consult Shamdas Kaviraj in Kolkata. The Kaviraj felt his pulse and said, "I cannot treat you because it is difficult to find the specific Anupan." He was very disappointed and was returning by the boat in which he had traveled there when he noticed a poisonous snake drinking rainwater that had collected in a skull. Whoa, okay. He noticed a poisonous snake drinking rainwater that had collected in a skull. That's so random. As his companions were asleep, he stepped out to drink the water from the skull, thinking, "Even if I die by drinking this, it doesn't matter. It is better to die than suffer like this." But soon, he felt some relief from the burning sensation in his body. So he returns to the Kaviraj, who told him, "Now I treat you, and you can be cured because you have taken the appropriate Anupan. If any poisonous snake drinks rainwater in the skull of a man who has recently passed away, and if such leftover water is consumed, only then my medicine is a specific health condition." That Nawab was really cured, and he built a 2-storied house for Shyam Das Kaviraj and cited how effective his treatment was. He also instituted a hospital by the name Ashtadik Hospital. Mahaprabhu's sevaks from Sri Khanda used to administer such treatments. There's a mention of these Vaidyas in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 1051. Chikitsa karena jare sadoy deharoga bhavaroga duitara koi. As Murari Gupta treated his patients, by his mercy, both their bodily and spiritual diseases subsided. These Vaidyas are the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They do not take money for the treatment of sadhus, mahatmas, and brahmins. I've taken many patients to them. Their consultation and medicine free. When our Guru Maharaj was a brahmachari, he once visited one such Vaidya for consultation and medicine for Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. During that visit, he told the doctor that he himself was to undergo an operation for a hernia. Vaidya checked his pulse and said, "You don't have to go an operation right now. There is time, so try taking my medicine." He wrote the prescription, and the medicinal herbs and roots were brought from the market, boiled in 4 liters of water until the water was reduced to 1 liter, and then the concoction was strained and milk and sugar, mishri, were added. They prepared it, and as Guru Maharaj drank it, little by little, he enjoyed the taste and consumes the whole thing. Then he went to the latrine, and everything was cleared. When Guru Maharaj returned to the doctor reported, "You have no, your stools had merely hardened and dried and formed into knots." Likewise, of Hari Bhakti, treatment is needed. And what is the treatment? It is sadhu seva. So it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.2, "Mahat sevam dvaram ahur vimuktes tamo dvaram yoshitam sangi sangam mahantaste samachita prashanta vimanyava suhrida sadavoye." One can attain the path for material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees alike. So both of these people. Whenever one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or desires to associate with the personality of Godhead himself, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger, and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. The door to liberation from material bondage can be opened by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. And what is the door to hell? Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. Association with women, or those who are too attached to women, is the door to hell. So it is necessary to not associate with such people. Na tatasya bhaven moho bhandaschanya prasangata yoshit sangar yata pungso yata tat sangi sangata. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:31-35. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. There's Yoshit Seva and Yoshit Sangi Seva. Sense enjoyment with the opposite sex and association with those who are attached to sense enjoyment with the opposite sex. Both should be avoided. Today, Śrīla Raghunātha Gosami celebrated Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava. So we are remembering this. Even to this day, Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava is celebrated in Pāṇihāṭi. Although no one is invited separately, all the mats observe this day, and whoever comes to the mat is offered Mahaprasad. So it's now 8:30, and they're just about to serve out this flat rice with yogurt and bananas and mango and sweets and all that for prasad. So I'm going to end here. If you're, I'm not sure for everybody, if this festival is tomorrow, then maybe you could make that. Or you can make some yogurt. Or today, if you're able to, make some yogurt and bananas, sweets, flat rice, or condensed milk. Yeah. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. I'll just do a quick Jayadvani because I don't want to be late for the Dahi Chira. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Binod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityānanda Prabhu Ki Jai, Śrīla Raghunath Gosami Par Ki Jai, Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava Ki Jai, Danda Mahotsava. Lots of times this day is called Danda Mahotsava because it's the day Nityānanda Prabhu punished Raghunath Gosami, the festival of punishment. Danda Mahotsava Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Gosami Par Ki Jai, Nityānanda Pravishta Srimad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosai Mahārāja Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Satyavatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Yesterday I mentioned that I wasn't going to do Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow, but a few people wrote me and I decided, okay, I'll read Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. And yeah, so see you all tomorrow. We will read from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. All right, Hari Bol, everybody. Okay, Yashoda Didi. So then is it tomorrow for you? I don't actually know. Yeah, let's see. All right, Hari